to Patient Zero. I'm your host, Branch Isole. Patient Zero shares a focus on personal, career, and spiritual relationship growth. The term Patient Zero generally describes a point of origin for any experience, event, or entity. From the moment of our creation as a spirit of origination, each of us becomes the patient zero of our lifetime journey. On Patient Zero, you'll hear tips and takeaways for healthier daily interactions to achieve greater success at home and work. You'll also learn how prophecy can educate, entertain, and edify with awareness about prophetic events, people, and circumstances to help you know and prepare for God's purpose-filled plans. Viktor Frankl, author of Man's Search for Meaning, stated, "Between stimulus and response, there's a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." Here's why growth and freedom of your new response are so powerful. A new response can redefine, reinvent, or replace our old pattern behaviors. Plus, the more you use a new response, the easier and more natural it becomes. So the next time you're tempted to spit fire with an automatic old pattern response comeback, stop. Tell yourself, respond respectfully, then answer. But why is a new response so important? Because our old pattern behaviors and our old pattern responses keep us stuck. They keep us chained. They keep us shackled in a downward spiral. With old pattern responses, nothing changes. We've used it before. They've heard it before. The result? No change. One typical old pattern behavior that many use is the silent treatment. Maybe you know this one. The issue comes up, an impasse is hit, and one partner goes silent mode. Not responding, not interacting, not speaking. I knew a man once who used the silent treatment for up to 2 weeks at a time. This is not loving behavior, and it can be extremely hard on a relationship. But be forewarned, deconstructing old pattern behaviors often reveal much about our own discontent. You see, a new response can dismantle both the quote-unquote issue and the old pattern behavior we've been using consistently. But what do I mean? You may find that the problem or the issue in your relationship is actually about you. You see, behind a veil of offending behavior, it's often our issue, our baggage, our internal conflict that's on display. Making excuses, blaming others, going into silent mode, or some other form of punishment is a place we choose to go. Let me say that again. It's our choice to behave this way. And although it may be part of your human nature or the way you've always been, it's harmful for everyone involved. So why continue? Why go there? It's a path that only leads to unhappy bitterness. Inappropriate responses are self-perpetuating cycles of defeat. And if continued unabated, you'll be hard-pressed to experience positive growth in your relationship. A new response, on the other hand, can start improving any relationship. So stop, pause, think, then answer. You'll soon discover hand in hand with your new response is experiential growth. Now you may be asking, Branch, what exactly is experiential growth? Experiential growth is what happens in that space Viktor Frankl described, the time between our response moment and our reconciliation moment. It's the makeup moment, when a disagreement ends and the moving on part begins, hopefully with reconciliation starting as well. You see, growth takes place incrementally, meaning it's a step-by-step process that reduces the time between your responsive action and your reconciliation action. In our silent treatment example, a new, learned, and practiced response shortened the destructive nature of the situation every time. Our hero went from 2 weeks to 10 days to 5 days, and then to 4, 3, 2, and finally 1 day between response and reconciliation. And that was excellent growth, but he kept at it. And by the time his new response was fully formed, his reconciliation time was minimized further. He was actually able to work through his frustration and anger more quickly as he identified his part of the issue. Did it take time? Yes. All behavioral change takes time. That's just a fact. Inappropriate patterns of behavior don't happen overnight, and they won't be changed overnight. You see, teaching an old dog a new trick takes time, patience, and love. Well, the same is true for us. Time, patience, and love are required. If you've ever known anyone who battled addiction and used a 12-step program, you know it takes time to change engraved behaviors. Our 2-week man went from weeks to days to hours, and finally to minutes. But how? He identified his part of the issue, the part he could change, the part he controlled. Now, is this process difficult? Well, it can be at first. But keep in mind, behaviors and responses are choices. If you want your life to change, you have to realize you're the one who has the power to do so. Your life, my life, every life is about the choices we make. And with every choice comes a consequence, an outcome, a reward, or fallout. The key question is, which outcome is in your best interest? Will incremental time reduction steps reveal areas that need work? Yes. But growth always has challenges. Looking at the hard stuff, admitting it exists, and getting through it proves incremental steps are the key. You see, there's no skill or activity where you've said, I'm going to try this, and voila, you experience immediate success. Every new attempt or response takes time and practice. Well, relationships are no different. When we accept challenges to grow, it can take a few times to get our new template right. By recognizing the difficulty in your issue, you may discover at the core of your discord is you. You see, when growth starts to take place, we soon realize it's not the actions of others that make us angry. It's being stuck in our old pattern behaviors. The actions of another may trigger, but our response, whatever it may be, whatever form it takes, is up to us. So the question becomes, are you willing to risk changing your old pattern responses and your old pattern behaviors for new respectful ones? You see, whatever form your quote-unquote punishment takes, silent mode or something else, if reducing the time between your response and your reconciliation is incremental and consistent, growth occurs. Relationships improve. Lives are changed. So the next time your issue comes up, don't demean, respond respectfully, and reflect on your part of the problem honestly. There you have it. New response, time reduction, taking responsibility. 3 keys for relationship growth. Start today for better relationships tomorrow. Thanks for joining me today. On Patient Zero, we share key takeaways for growth-filled living. If you know someone who could benefit from today's episode, please share it with them. If today's show has been interesting for you, please give us a rating and review. And to know more about my work, I invite you to visit and subscribe to my website, branchisole.com, my Substack page, branchisole.substack.com, and my YouTube channel, Branch Isole. Substack subscribers also receive a thought for today every morning, 2 spiritual Christianity prophecies alerts every week, and an open mic poem short story every Saturday, as well as access to archived Patient Zero episodes, informative series, and articles. At the website, you'll find my books, ebooks, and gift merchandise. Join me again next Wednesday evening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here at branchisole.substack.com. Until then, keep growing and be in the world, not of the world.